I often mount and balance my own tires, and I've made some tools to help with that. This is my bead breaker. It is a leveling jack from a trailer with the foot cut shorter. I cut the foot down and put a rubber pad on the bottom of it. And that's attached to a simple piece of 2-inch square tubing. You can bolt it on. They're actually made to be bolted in place. I welded them in. Soapy water is key to all of this. I'm actually using a mixture of simple green and water. And I'm using these pry bars. These are from Harbor Freight. They have a spoon end and a scoop end. They're very useful. What I'm doing is hooking them underneath the edge of the wheel and simply walking them down along. This is popping the bead off the wheel. And right here I've noticed that it's happening pretty well there. What I'm wondering is if the bead is going to pop before that vein on my forehead. Look how close I am. I barely touch it here. And it lets go. Now we flip the tire over and do the same thing on the back side. This tool is made from the spare tire mount for a Jeep Wrangler, and that's mounted to another 2-inch piece of steel. A round piece of steel is welded dead center up top. The tire goes over that. This is a side view of one of these wheels. You can see there's different lips to it. This is the mounting lip, and these two are the bead lips. The side of the tire that is closest to me is wedged into the mounting lip. That allows me to move the top of the tire far enough over to lift it off. So I've scooped out the edges with the pry bar, and I'm feeling the tension in the bars. The one on the left is much tighter than the one on the right, so I'm moving the one on the right and getting a little more tire, and we're pretty close now. When you have about half of it up, you're there, and there it is. Now I can use the centerpiece that's sticking up to simply scissor the rest of it off. Okay, on this part I'm now pulling the bottom part of the tire into the mounting lip, and I'm scooping out the inside. You can just pick that with the edge of the tire iron. I also just remembered that I'm making a video, so I'm turning it towards the camera, and you can see the edge that I picked out there. So the bottom edge is in the mounting lip, and we're taking this part off of there. And this is where the centerpiece of steel comes into play again. You can scissor against it. However, pulling is not the motion here. See how I'm pushing down my forearm and spinning it? That does the trick. Again, here I'm pulling it, but that doesn't work. Spinning it works. You just have to pull it into place before you can spin it. For mounting the tire, it starts with a lot of soapy water, and this is the easiest part of the whole process, this bottom edge of the tire onto the new wheel. Quite often, just pushing it here, it'll just pop right on. I didn't get quite that lucky, but just one little scoop with the tire iron, and it pops right on. Okay, so now you start fishing the top edge down, and this goes pretty quickly at first until you get to the point where when you pull one side, the other side starts coming loose. Then you need 2 bars, and you hold one in place. No such thing as too much soap. And then just start shoving it back over and over again. Here's a nuance. You see how I'm in the middle of it and it doesn't go? You have to be more to the edges. That was a stupid mistake of mine. You pop the edge and the whole thing goes. For setting the bead, I've seen people do things with fire and straps. If the tire is wet and you're on an angle like this, it'll just seat. You don't have to do anything special. I'm using a regular compressor. It's set at 150, and that's it. For balancing, I'm using a simple bubble level. I didn't make it, I bought it. I also bought these weights that go on. They're stick-on weights, and the far ones are pound-on weights. You level the bubble center using the little screws around it. You can see there's 3 screws. Then you put the wheel on it, and you re-level the bubble by dropping weights on the side. Then you take those weights and stick them to the inside of the tire. And then you go to the woods.